dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano boarding and day.
Okay, now let us see calculating the size of an angle. How are we going to calculate the size of an angle? Previously, in our previous examples, we have seen once if you have given two sides and then one angle. That means the relationship between two sides and one angle in a given right angle, the triangle, it describes that trigonometric ratio. It's a trigonometric ratio, sine, cosine and tangent. Now let us see how can we calculate the size of an angle if you have given two sides in a given right angle, the triangle. So here we have steps that we need to follow to determine the size of an angle. So here are steps we follow to determine the size of an angle. What's the first step? Press the shift button on your calculator. As you can see here, this is the shift button. So you press this, the shift button, and then the second step is one of these, the trig expressions of trig ratios, sine, cosine or tan, because here we have sine, cosine and tan, but at the top of these buttons we have their inverses, that is sine inverse, cos inverse and tan inverse. So by pressing this shift you will find sine inverse, cos inverse or tan inverse. So after that we proceed to the third step, which is the value. Then after that you enter the value, shift either sine, cosine or tan, then the value, which value is given. Finally on the screen you will see the angle. You will see the angle. Now let us see this example. It says use your calculator to obtain theta if sine theta is 0.8. How can we find theta? You follow the same step. As I said, the first step is shift, then what? Sine, then the value is 0.8. So finally you will get theta approximately 53.1 degrees. Check using your calculator, check whether these values are right or wrong. Following the same steps that we did, check these values of theta. So the first step, as I said, shift, you press the shift button and then sine or cosine or tan, because this shift button will lead us to the inverse of this sine, cosine or tan. Then the value, so that you will get this 53.1 degrees. Actually the instruction it says give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. That's why here we have given 53.1 degrees. Example B, the same. First the shift button, then cos, the value 0, so you will get theta which is 90 degrees. Example C, shift, then tan, after that the value, so you will get theta on your calculator screen. Theta be given by 85.9 degrees. 85.9 degrees. So to find the size of an angle, once if you have given two sides using the trig ratios, you can get these values, because sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan is opposite over adjacent. After that you may get these values. Then to find the value of this angle theta, what are you going to do is shift, then if it is sine inverse, sine, if it is cos inverse, cos, if it is tan inverse, tan, then after that the value, the given value. Finally you can read the value of that angle on the screen of your calculator, Okay, now let us see this example. This example is related with calculating the size of an angle. As I said, if you have given values, so to find the size of an angle, we use our calculator, we press the shift button, then either sine or cosine or tan, then we insert the value. Finally we can read the given angle, the degree measure of the given angle. Now example, here it says as an airplane travels 3,000 meters. Here it says as an airplane travels 3,000 meters along a straight flight path. It rises 500 meters. it rises 500 meters. As I said, to solve a given word problem, the first step is read carefully the problem and then understand. After reading and understanding the problem, we follow other procedures or other steps to solve that particular word problem. So now let us change this word problem into mathematical expression. It says as an airplane travels 3,000 meters. It's obvious, we know that if this is the initial or the starting point of the plane, it follows this path. And then when it reaches this point, the given distance there is 3,000 meters. We have given 3,000 meters. Okay, 3,000 meters along a straight flight path. So this is the straight flight path, the starting point. When it reaches to this point, the distance is given by 3,000 meters. Now it rises 500 meters, it says. This is the ground. This is the ground. It rises 500 meters means the height from the ground. When we are talking about height, it should be perpendicular distance, the perpendicular distance between the ground and the airplane. It is given by 500 meters. So this perpendicular distance is 500 meters. 500 meters. Now the question here is, it says calculate the angle between the flight path of the airplane and the horizontal. The horizontal is this one, okay, and the flight path of the airplane is this line, so that we are asked to calculate the angle formed by the horizontal and the flight path of the airplane. So as you can see here, this represents right angled triangle. We have typical right angled triangle here. So right angle at this point. So the question is, what is angle theta? What is angle theta here? So to find angle theta now, referring this angle, what relationship do we have between this angle and the given 500 meter, which is the distance or the height, the vertical height between the horizontal and the airplane, and then the straight flighting path of the airplane. So this is the hypotenuse. As you can see, it's the hypotenuse, which is h. How do we know whether it is the hypotenuse or not? Hypotenuse is the longest side in a right angled triangle, and it is opposite to the right angle. And this, the 500 meters, which is given here, is opposite, or which is the opposite side, is opposite to the given angle theta, the given angle theta. Now, how can you find theta? Okay, before finding theta, which trig ratio are we going to use? Hypotenuse and opposite, that is sine, because sine uses the two values, the two side lengths of a given right angled triangle. So sine of theta is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Opposite divided by hypotenuse. So sine theta, theta is not given. Sine theta, because we are asked to find the angle formed by the flight path of the airplane and the horizontal. Okay, so sine theta is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. What is the opposite? 500 meters divided by the hypotenuse is 3,000 meters. Okay, so sine theta is equal to, meter can cancel by meter, okay, then 2 zeros cancelled by 2 zeros, so we have 5 divided by 30. 5 divided by 30. So to find theta now, how can you find theta? As I say, to find the degree measure of a given angle, if you have given the value, so you use your calculator, you press the shift button, 1, the value of theta here is equal to shift plus sine, then the value. So theta will be 10 degrees. So it says give your answer to the nearest degrees. The nearest degrees. That means without a decimal place. Without a decimal place, the degree measure of theta is 10 degrees. It is 10 point something, but when you want to round it, the digits after the decimal point, those digits are rounded down digits, so we don't need to round those digits. So theta will remain as it is, which is 10 degrees. So that now we come to here, the problem, and then The answer is 10 degrees. So under these given conditions, the degree measure of the angle formed by the horizontal and the flight path of the airplane is 10 degrees. The airplane is 10 degrees. Now on your textbook, go to page 233, starting from page 233 up to 249, including the previous videos. You can revise, you can read, and then do additional examples. See you in the next video.